Hey guys, this is IrieStarcraft and I'm back to cast another game for you. This will be a 4 versus 4 on Lava Flow, and it's going to be between MouseonaMan, the red Terran player, and spiXeL, the blue Zerg, and Halcon, the purple Protoss, and vNmMagic, the teal Terran, and their opponents will be Focus, the green Zerg, and Solo, the yellow Protoss, nVKrayZe, the orange Zerg, and Tassadar, the pink Protoss. Now, as you all know, on Lava Flow, the most standard opener in my experience, at least in Masters League, is to attempt to cheese the people in the middle. So I expect to see cannons being put down here, cannons being put down here, and sometimes cannons being put down here, and even sometimes we got cannons put down right over here. So one thing about this map is very, very conducive to cannon cheese with Overlord support here. As the bottom team does appear to have 2 Protoss, 2 Zerg. So there should be some cannon cheese on the way from the bottom team. The top team, however, they have 1 Protoss, and he is building a gateway. That is Halcon. So I do not expect actually any cheese to go on against the bottom team. Either way, let's keep an eye out for the cheesy cheese. We do have a probe chilling here. There goes the pylon. So meanwhile, we do have double racks here from vNmMagic being built at his front door. I do not think he is aware of this pylon. Well placed back here. Something to think about when you're trying to cheese. Make sure your pylon, see how it's perfectly placed outside of vision right there. Now that the pylon's finished, he's going to throw down 2 cannons at the same time. Because if he only throws 1 down, it will be able to be stopped most likely by some Zerglings and/or SCVs. The one thing is, it takes the SCVs so long to get around to this point, it's almost not even worth trying to do. And Zerglings are now on the way up to cover this cheese. And often what you'll see is the Protoss player will cheese right here with these 2 cannons, and when the Overlord gets here, and the probe will already be moving over to this location. But for now, we got Zerglings that are going to peck away at the front here, but there are Marines that will be ready to defend that. The SCVs will have to come off the line. And Marines actually are going to come back here, and then the Marines, I think, are going to try and force this Overlord back. It just is not going to work with the cannon cover, so I'm not sure what vNmMagic is trying to do there, but he is not going to be able to do much. And now we do see the second cheese on the way from Tassadar, and I don't believe... yes, this has been seen. It has been scouted. Halcon, though, however, does not appear to be doing a whole lot about it. He looks to have completely... no, he did not completely wall in. There is an entrance there. And he just realized, apparently Halcon has realized what is going on, and now all these Zerglings are going to come streaming into spiXeL's base, but there is a queen here and a Spinecrawler, and it looks like Crazy here was able to kill the queen, and now going to be surrounding it. This Spinecrawler drone's being pulled off the line to try and fight back the Zerglings, and it looks like some Zerglings for spiXeL spawning there at the last second. He will be able to clean up this attack. And vNmMagic sending some Marines up there for good measure. He looks like he has been forced to lift off his command center. Where is he putting it? He is moving it over here. He's already got his SCVs all set up over there. So he's just going to go ahead and move his base. And MouseonaMan with quite a few Marines here. Halcon apparently not aware of how they can see his base. So that is interesting. Maybe everyone in this game is not a master level. It is possible. But I think most of the players in here are mastered. Whoa, Zergling is getting ripped apart there by some Marines. These Marines could easily just steamroll these cannons if they want, but will that be worth it? I don't know. It looks like they're going to go right after the pylon, actually. Going to have to fight these Zerglings first. That won't take too long. Going to be able to unpower this pylon, and then somebody will be able to build a base in that location again. Well defended there, but the Stalkers from Solo are going to probably be able to kill quite a few Marines here. No real point in trying to kill these cannons right now, and the Marines will get surrounded by the Zerglings and cleaned up by the Stalkers at the same time. But they did get rid of this cheese. Not that this cheese was doing anything at this point, so I don't know about that decision. Kind of questionable there. Now Zerglings will be able to get into Halcon's base. He has been crippled by this stuff in the back. He looks like he was almost able to kill his Overlord. Trying to kill. He did take out the Overlord finally, but at what cost? It looks like he has lost all of his drones. Did he move them, or did Zerglings get in here earlier that I did not see? I'm not sure, but it looks like our Protoss player Halcon is pretty much done-ski in this game. Though MouseonaMan with quite a few Marines and Marauders here, and now a spiXeL with a lot of Zerglings trying to fight these Stalkers. He needs the cover of these Marines and Marauders, though. The Zerglings are all going to die before the Marines and Marauders can get into this battle. So a little better teamwork in that situation may have been able to pay off, but I still think MouseonaMan will be able to pick off all of these Stalkers. Maybe not all of them. It looks like Solo. No, he is going to get trapped here by some Zerglings from spiXeL. And that army of Stalkers will go bye-bye. The 4-gate has been finished, and Solo is, he's warped in Stalkers into his main. I think he can run through there, yeah. That looks like he can run through that location. And so what do we have on the tech routes here going on? We do have Blink on the way now for Solo. Gonna make those Stalkers much more mobile. And we have a Dark Shrine just now finishing for Tassadar. And does he have any sort of cheesy pylons? I don't think so. This looks like where he's going to be warping in his DTs on this ledge, and so we'll have to keep an eye on those DTs. So hard to keep track of, especially while all this other stuff's going on. Got to be careful about certain things when there's DTs on the map, like leaving your supply depot down. That is always a hazard when there's DTs running around. And you got to keep an eye. I don't think that they have seen this. I don't think they saw those DTs. If they were watching the army, they would have probably seen these DTs. Now watch this. Did I call it or did I call it? Uh-oh. DTs going right up to the lower supply depot. More DTs on the way, getting split apart, it looks like. I think one of them may be going for the Zerg base. He is. Two of them are now inside the Terran mineral line. MouseonaMan has plenty of energy for scam, but he has nothing to kill them with. He's going to be running his SCVs away. He's going to need to use these freshly produced units to take out those DTs in conjunction with the scam, but at the same time, they are going to be pressing the issue down here inside the natural expansion area. Zerglings trying to surround these Stalkers. It's not going to work for this massive ball of Marines and Marauders, looking extremely vulnerable. It looks like neither player actually with the stim pack yet, and now some Dark Templars from Tassadar are getting inside of this army of Marines and Marauders, and they're going to need a scan. It is unclear whether they'll realize these DTs are in here. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell when the DTs are slicing up your army. There goes the scan, there goes the DTs. But now this army has been softened up quite a bit, and the Stalkers may stand a chance with that Blink technology. It looks like, whoa, misclick there from Solo, going to be losing some of his Stalkers, and there's pings going off like crazy. Apparently, MouseonaMan just now realizing that those DTs were in there. I don't know. I assumed he was going to take care of those. But his command center is on the verge of dying here. It looks like it is going to get repaired there. Another scan going off. Excuse me there, you guys. And now there goes the Nexus for Solo. So a nice job by MouseonaMan and vNmMagic sniping down the Nexus. Now the Roaches, though, looks like are going to clean this up. Or not. Uh-oh. The stim has finished for vNmMagic. And now it looks like MouseonaMan as well as stim. But there goes those units. They are going to die. And I think I just realized that I have my volume at the wrong level. I probably have the game sound way too loud right now, so I apologize for that, you guys. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and try and change that right now. Yeah. Totally a huge no-no, but for now, do what I can. We'll see how it turns out. Sorry about that. Anyway, this Nexus is going to be try to be rebuilt. I heard a dying changeling. That's always the creepiest noise ever. Focus apparently has been going for this high yield. And now I think this command center, this base is okay. This base is okay. The DTs didn't totally totally annihilate them. Apparently I'm getting invited to party. I forgot to busy myself while I'm casting. It's been a while since I've cast the game. I've been extremely busy. Sorry about that, you guys. But either way, here we go. Tassadar, look at all the zealots he has, and he has 2 DTs in this army. Going to be charging right into this stemmed up Marines and Marauders that are going to try and shoot and scoot backwards. However, there is a scan going off that are going to be able to pick off the DTs. This army looking so beefy right now. With the cover of these Zerglings going to be going after the Protoss base. How many scans does it take to get to the center of a Protoss base? I don't know. But it's going to require another one, and I don't know if either of them have enough energy for that. They will probably find out there's another DT. They really need to get this Dark Shrine down, which appears to be what the Zerglings want to do. They're going to have to take out this cannon first, though. And there goes another scan. Killing these pylons could do wonders against them. This pylon here could unpower that Dark Shrine. Though actually, I think you can still warp in units if your building is unpowered, if you have the technology. I keep forgetting whether that's the case. There goes the Dark Shrine. So you won't have to spend any more scans on that. But Roaches have made it their way back in here for Crazy, and it looks like actually the Bio Ball is going to succeed in that battle. Crazy, I'm sorry, man. What are you doing down here? Not a whole lot going on with your Roaches, man. I'm talking trash. And so it looks like Tassadar's base is completely screwed. And he was the one who started the cannon cheese at the beginning. So Tassadar pretty much showed you the standard Protoss builds in the 4v4s at this level is the cheese. When that doesn't work, or whether it works or not, you follow it up with Dark Templars. And honestly, like, it was really exciting for a while, and I'm actually starting to get pretty tired of that build. I won't lie to you. I'm actually starting to get tired of DTs because I see them every single game now in Forge. It is like the bread and butter of Forge now in Starcraft. These Dark Templars here, Dark Templars there, Dark Templars everywhere. Starting to get a little tired, but that's just my opinion. Either way, Changeling is straight balling down here. Just scouting, chilling. Tassadar's new base, unfortunately, I don't think is going to survive this one. And let's see, what can the bottom team really do at this point with this giant bio army? What they need is some infestors, obviously, on the field. And we instead, it looks like we have a Spire on the way. This base has been scouted now, so that should get cleaned up by some Zerglings most likely quickly. There is a ton of mutas on the field, though, for focus. So he does have that going for him, though. He does not want to engage this army. There's probably too many Marines in here for these mutas to deal with, but the mutas really need to be flying across the map and crippling the opponent's economy. But it looks like we're going to straight up engage this army. Mutalisks overhead, Stalkers on the bottom, blinking back. So many Serpents, though. Really putting the hurt on these Stalkers. Now the mutas look like they will be able to clean up all the rest of the Marines and Marauders, though. The ground army for the bottom team being significantly depleted in that battle. Excuse me there. These mutas really need to go across the map and start doing some harassment at this point, and I think that is exactly what Focus is going to do. Looks like some Zerglings from Spikes managed to take out a bunch of drones at this location. More mass mutas are being pumped out. We really need some infestors to deal with these balls of Marines and Marauders. vNmMagic, it appears actually that MouseonaMan is controlling all of these units here. And these Marines will be able to force back the Mutalisks. A wise decision not stimming up at that time. Got to be very careful with your stims, especially when you have no medevac support. Maybe we will get some soon. vNmMagic does have a reactor starport up here. I missed where that ping was, so hopefully I'm not missing anything. It appears that Tassadar is trying to be rebuilt here. Hey Nox, what's up, man? What do I use to cast? Yeah, I really should have busied myself before this game, but hey man, whatever. I use Fraps. And I use XSplit when I'm doing the live stuff. So anyway, ball of really scary Marines and Marauders wants to... Do we have any upgrades on these? By the way, we have 0, 0, and 0, 0. So there are no upgrades. God, man, I'm telling you, 2 or 3 Infestors right here. Oh, juicy, juicy. Well, it looks like we are going to get a battle here, and I think that the stemmed up power of these Marines and Marauders is going to just melt all this away. There are a ton of mutas in there, and even the Stalkers blinking inside them. It looks like they will actually be able to take out this army. They did lose quite a few units there, though, and I got distracted here. I'm going to go ahead and answer his question, and then I am going to go to busy. What did he ask? I use virtual dub and Windows Movie Maker to compress and stitch. There you go, buddy. Alright, vNmMagic space. Looks like it's going to get... No, I don't know. Is it going to get... He's repairing the crap out of this, but it's not a planted fortress, so can't fight back. Just sending reinforcements. He is sending reinforcements here. Mutas are in the way, and now it looks like this base is going to stay up. And another major engagement. Some Corruptors now in the air for spikes to ward back the Mutalists. And it looks like these Stalkers and Mutas are going to be forced to retreat here. And now the Marines and Marauder Sim has worn off, but he will be able to go after this gold location. I think Tassadar is still desperately trying to rebuild, doing everything he can to stay in this game. And now with the medevac support on the air, that is going to be huge. Fike is online. I haven't seen my buddy Fike in way too long on Starcraft. So my lack of busy this cast really coming back to haunt me, but either way, some cat and mouse. Now the Zerglings from Spikes are going to not do a whole lot here. They are engaging all by their lonesome. Now some of these Stalkers are so low on hit points, man. So low, man. This game's not really over, I guess. I don't know. This game is a very intriguing game. Tassadar's main has been destroyed like 3 times, and he keeps finding a new one. Now he's going to lose this one. The purple Protoss player was defeated at the very beginning, so it's basically been a 4-on-3, but mostly a 3-on-3 for most of the game. Another major engagement. These Marines and Marauders completely outnumbered. They are all going to die. And now all there is this group here, I think. What do we have army-wise other than that? I don't think we have very much going on here. As now Mutas are going to be coming in and trying to take out this base. Are we going to try and defend that? It looks like we are, but... oh, we are getting intercepted down here. The medevacs are not in place to cover and heal these units, but it looks like they will be able to get back there in time. Just now we are finally getting some sentries here to try and split this army, but I don't think we used any force fields there. Could we try and trap some of these units? Where are the force fields going to go down? No force fields or Guardian Shield being used by Solo. Very, very strange right there. And apparently the dead Protoss player is talking trash on their own teammate, which is a giant no-no, a huge no-no. Especially when you're the one that got cheesed out, man. And you were the second cheese victim. Like, you had time, man. You had time. Yeah, I'm talking trash. Corruptor is just going to chase these mutas all over the place. Everywhere. They're going to be chasing. And still, this little group of Marines with a bunch of medevacs overhead is just so powerful. Probes trying to cover for these Stalkers here. And it looks like now with the cover of these Zerglings should be able to easily defeat this army. And the fact that Solo has been unable to take an expansion this entire time has really got to be haunting him right now. There goes the Queen here. For Crazy, finally trying to get this base going. Not a whole lot of mining happening up here. So I am not 100% sure that this was Masters. I think it was low Masters for the most part. I think low Masters. There's probably some Diamond players up in here because the expansions really seem to come late for some players. But the general style of play seemed like a Masters style. So, except without all the Hellions. Which I am totally fine with not seeing. And it looks like at this point the top team I think is going to take this. The mutas appear to have been cleaned up. for focus, the green Zerg player. And by cleaned up, I mean still floating around down at the bottom. I thought they were up at the top for some reason. There's not much they can do at this point, though. They really can't. What these mutas needed to be doing this entire time is harassing these mineral lines. Like, there's no defense here or anything. Focus has been too worried trying to use these mutas to defend. What he needed to try and do instead is force either a base race situation or force this army to fall back at him. It would have been a better play. And try and use infestors. Crazy, really, you guys needed, the two Zergs on the bottom team needed to coordinate a little bit better in this game. As that appears like it is going to be game. As everybody has left the game, GG's, and by GG's there are no GG's. But really, I think the bottom team, again, you had focus going for the mass mutas, which is still a perfectly fine play in this situation, but they need to be used aggressively, offensively, defensively. KrayZe really needed to get some infestors out, and he needed to get an expansion sooner. The roaches that he was going with were not doing enough. He didn't mass them up enough. He was splitting up his roaches and their engagements. I don't know. It was desperation time a couple of those times he had to use those roaches. I just think a tech switch to infestors are so overpowered, man. And ooh, we even had a Nidus network that was about to finish and we didn't get to see. So either way, thank you vNmMagic for sending me this game. It was a pleasure to cast. Sorry about the sound levels at the beginning. It probably wasn't the best because I'm stupid. So hopefully it got better when I changed that and it's not unlistenable. You like that one? I just made that one up. Either way, that is going to do it for me. This is IrieStarcraft, and peace out.